recording right now.
Don't be suspicious.
Are you really doing homework on the podcast?
No, I'm not fucking doing homework.
What are you doing?
Mind your business. I'm here.
What did you say before we started?
That you're a hater?
No, this nigga dead ass busted his MacBook out just because I had
Because
mine.
you tried to stunt
I'm
on me.
not stunting. This
stunt
shit's
on
on every single
You tried
week.
to stunt on me, and now look, mine is on this week.
My boy Devon is on to talk about the supernatural.
What, my superpowers? December 21st happened, baby.
Educate them. Yo, I did not know about that until you told me.
Because you're not woke enough. And look, bum ass motherfucker without superpowers.
Nigga, I made the water teleport. You literally were like, when did that water get there?
I'm also off a fucking Adderall. So like, things get by me.
I wouldn't be surprised if you were doing homework on the podcast right now.
I mean, I could. The more you mention it, the more I'm just going to want to do it.
You shouldn't. You should
So
give yourself a
I'm not gonna
mental
do it.
break.
So I'm not going to do it.
So don't do it.
I'm not. You keep fucking making it seem like I'm
Yo,
doing
just take a sip of this real quick. Cheers, bro. My boy brought me a fucking Mandalorian mug. Let's get it. I think my girl's rolling that loud pack right now.
This Godiva?
Is it good?
I said, is it Godiva?
It's not. They make hot chocolate? They make hot chocolate?
Someone lived in the hood too long. You don't know Godiva has...
We both still live in the hood.
I came out of choice. We're privileged. Just, we decide to live lower.
Are we always gonna live in the hood?
No, I'm trying to find a sugar mama to get me out. If I'm being real with you.
You trying to find a sugar mama?
Seeking arrangements. I have one that I can't mention right now because she's a school principal. You laugh. I'll show you text messages right now.
I want to see. We don't like. It doesn't have to be on the podcast, but I just want to read it.
Okay.
I believe you. I just want to see it for like comedic purposes. Okay. How old are you again?
22.
Yo, that's real deal sugar mama shit. Like I can't even say sugar mama with a serious face because I'm like close to 30.
Not me.
Yeah, he's like I'm young and I'm ready.
Baby.
How far would you go?
Dead.
Not like sexually. Like what would
I'm
you
banging the fucking cobwebs out her.
Yeah. Raw dog.
If she's giving me enough money, yeah.
Are you impregnating her?
She can't get pregnant.
Huh?
She can't. If she gets pregnant, oh well. I guess shit happens. I'm fucking in the will now. She thought she trapped me. I trapped her.
Fuck it.
But it's usually the old white bitches that give it to the dog. So I gotta be careful.
I said some like, it's not racist actually when it's coming from. This is gonna piss a lot of white people off, but I feel like it's not racist.
Fuck 'em.
When it's coming from us.
Saltines.
But I legit I was in a road rage earlier, bro, and I straight up was like, white bitches just can't. Like, I went in a full-blown road rage and said a bunch of, like, very nasty things about this woman who was just, like, driving very irresponsibly and almost killed me and my girl.
My grandmother's white.
For real?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Wait, what type of white?
British.
For real?
Yes.
Okay, so she doesn't count. But I literally was like, and obviously I don't mean this 100%, but I literally was like, white bitches can't drive.
You're dating Armenian.
They're not white though. That's why I asked you.
I mean, like they're Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you're Portuguese. I thought you were gonna go with the Portuguese route. I don't even really think Portuguese.
They won't say they're white.
But I wouldn't even consider Portuguese people white.
If you got the skin of a milk bone, you're white.
A milk bone?
Yeah.
What is a milk bone?
A fucking bone made out of milk.
Yo, this
a white
nigga.
ass bone, a bleached bone. If you got the skin of the fucking milkman, you're white.
All right, that's
you got
fair.
the skin of a black man, you're black.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why earlier I said what I said.
But you still don't have superpowers.
I do. I made the water appear on the table. You literally looked at that shit. Don't try to turn back on it like you didn't say it now. Because you looked at the water and you were like, when did that water get there?
You saw what I do.
I know.
You saw it.
You just fucking...
You don't play.
My boy just like, you're my sugar mama, and then it's just like a psychic thing.
Jedi mind tricks.
Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 52 of Jimmy's Diner. As usual, it is brought to you by Soulita Soap.
My name is Jimmy.
chug, and that'd be like a persuasive gift. You realize that life would become X-Men if that December 21st shit actually happened.
You know the X-Men movies fucking suck, but I still like them.
They don't suck.
The X-Men movies suck.
They don't suck.
The X-Men movies absolutely suck.
I feel you.
So
I respect
poorly.
no. So I respect that you said that you still like them, but I agree with you to a certain extent. Like I think X-Men 3 sucked. I think the one where they fucking fucked up Deadpool sucked. Wolverine. I think all the Wolverine movies sucked until Logan, to be real. But X-Men 1
Phoenix?
and 2 were fire.
What do you have to say about Phoenix?
Trash.
Exactly.
All right. X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men Days of Future Past. Fire.
X-Men 1, corny ass acting.
Right.
I love them. Halle Berry's fucking scene.
Let me eliminate 1.
When it gets electrocuted.
2 and Days of Future Past are like the perfect X-Men movies. Fire.
Okay.
But if December 21st happened and we were...
happened.
Okay. If we all legit were gifted, the government would like try to find a way to like...
You ever watch that show?
What show?
Gifted?
No.
And you like the X-Men? That's a whole show based off the X-Men like universe. I think FX had it.
Was it good?
I liked it, yeah. Better than the movies.
I feel like the government would like not to get all woke, but I feel like the government and white people would try to just like enslave us.
Listen.
Again. But they'd do
I did it once.
Now it'd be like
I'll do it again. We leave at midnight.
Yo. Can you? All right. You need to explain to the people who are lost, the uncultured people, what happened on December 21st. You need to break it down.
Jupiter, Saturn, they aligned. And our black DNA was woke. You know, like if you have African descent in you, your DNA was woke, and it was your time to shine.
So where did this stem from? Like who?
Black Twitter's a motherfucker.
I need to get back on Twitter.
You do, because black Twitter they're reckless, and the white folks were not happy.
Why?
Because
they're
of
white.
course it wasn't about them.
Yeah.
And oh, you guys are being stupid. And everyone's like, shut your white ass up.
Like I told that woman earlier.
Exactly.
The funniest shit about earlier is that I went into a full-blown rage and then I calmed down, or I thought I calmed down, and I thought it was like cool for like my calm, mature self to be like, white bitches can't drive. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
You think some white women can drive, but I feel like a lot of white women can't.
They can all drive.
They can all drive? All of them. Not the one from earlier.
Oh, they can all drive.
She was reckless. Where is this getting at now? Yeah, I feel like you have like a punchline.
I don't.
You don't?
No, I'm not saying that.
Like drive you insane,
You're
drive.
being racist.
Huh?
You're being racist.
I'm not being racist.
I'm fucking with you. They drive you insane.
They drive you insane.
they drive you
Thank
fucking
you.
insane.
They're fucking crazy.
But you know
That's
what?
another thing too, though.
They'll do whatever you want them to do.
That's true.
As long as they're in love.
I feel like you fuck mad white bitches.
As long as they're in love, you can do whatever you want.
Fuck mad white bitches. I could tell.
My father is a dog, and delete
Oh!
this.
No.
Do not say this.
Yo, this shit is unedited. My father's a dog.
My father dated someone who was on Flavor of Love before she was on Flavor of Love.
Get the fuck
Well, he went
out
on a
of
date
here.
with her, and he's trying to remember what her name is, because when you go on Flavor of Love, they change your name, and even like the name, like besides like Pumpkin and everything, like the other name that they give you isn't your real name. And I think it's like the UPS building in Warwick, right off the highway. They were driving, and his car broke down like right at the light on the highway, like right in front of the UPS
Jefferson.
building.
It's near Jefferson
I
Boulevard.
think so, yeah.
Where like the same exit as like the Motel 6s and all
Yes.
that shit. Wow.
So right where the highway ends and there's that light right there, his car broke down.
Mm-hmm.
And
he fucked her.
No, my father's a scumbag.
Okay.
There's no other way around it. My father is like, I'm like Jesus, like, and he's like the spawn of hell. And this man looks at her and he goes, "Damn, one us is gonna have to push. And it ain't me. And he was only fucking with her. Like my dad has a bad sense of humor.
Yeah.
And
now I see where you get it from.
The bitch got out and started pushing, and my father was like, "Yo, is she really pushing it right now?" So he wasn't gonna get out. He's like, "If fucking Hercules is over here pushing the shit, I might as well steer it into the fucking gas station." And white bitches.
So was she a sugar mama or no?
She was just dumb.
In a way, you're like your dad though, because you're finding
I'm better than my father.
You're like a more evil genius version of your dad.
That's a better way of putting it.
Because now you're searching for a way to make money off it.
Yeah.
Nice.
We got college bills to pay. I got arrested from that protest, and the next day I was sent like $50 to go get breakfast. I was like, I literally eat like.
Who sent you $50? Sugar mama.
For breakfast. And I looked at it, and at first I was like, "You don't have to send it to me." She's like, "What's your Cash App?" I was like, "You don't have to send it." She's like, and she was just like persistent. She's like, "What's your Cash App?" And I was like, "Oh, here it is." And then I check, and I'm like, it says $50.
Dude, her pussy was probably throbbing at the fact that you were protesting.
And I was just like, I literally like survive off of cereal.
She obviously supports Black Lives Matter.
She's black.
Get the fuck out.
That's what surprised me. Not only is she black, but no, I'll tell you this after. I can't. I can't.
Hey, it's too much exposure.
I can't. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. I won't put all the info out there.
How old at least? Can't say. 40s? 30s, 40s?
I would say 40, like early 40, mid 40. But you know black don't crack, so I can't really tell.
I'm actually very surprised because of the fact that you did just make a point that like white women will do anything. Black women, however, they're like more... They're loyal. They'll do shit for you if you're loyal to them. But like white women are just
but they'll
like
complain the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
I'm
like before you even ask, they'll be like, "Put your pants down.
Fucking...
I'm gonna suck your dick." Before you even ask.
Exactly. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this podcast.
Why?
There's gonna be a lot of angry black women.
I have angry women every week. So welcome to the club. Welcome to the party.
I'm an innocent child.
You know, I texted Lexus about what I should add to the ad this week way earlier, and she just texted me back with all this shit, and I can't do it. Shout out to Lexus, by the way. Me and Devon met through my ex/BM, and then we ended up being on a 2 a.m. live.
And that was until like 4 a.m. because she kept.
It was.
She would like lose connection, and she lives in
it was in the middle of the pandemic.
She lives in Woonsocket.
And what do two niggas with mental health issues do at 2 a.m.? They go on a live and talk shit about Woonsocket.
When you always feel bad about yourself,
you talk shit about Woonsocket. Yes.
Yo, just don't talk about Pawtucket.
She gets so defensive over Woonsocket.
She does.
I don't get it.
Like, what the fuck is in there besides heroin?
There's literally nothing. Their downtown looks sad. I don't know why I was over there one day. They're quote unquote downtown, but it just looked like...
They have a theater there?
Yeah, they do have a theater there.
There's a bookstore that I think has been closed for like the past like 2 years. A Domino's on the corner. That's pretty much fucking it. I think like a barbershop near the like Domino's.
They probably...
And I don't trust white people to cut my hair. I'm so sorry.
I was just going to say they probably push your shit back.
I can't trust white people to cut my hair.
I don't blame you. I've had one white dude cut my hair and he pushed my shit back, and I was like, I'm not doing this again.
He's mad we were free.
How do you feel about vaccines right now?
I'm not fucking doing it.
You're not going to do it at all?
I'm not doing it right now.
Why?
So, one, it was made too quickly for me. I don't even get the flu shot, so there's that.
You've never had the flu shot, period.
Maybe when I was younger, but my father is very much against it because my little sister got the flu shot and got like deathly sick.
What?
So, yeah.
That shit's supposed to only give you like some symptoms.
Little girl ended up being in the hospital. And she was just sick, so my father was like, "Yeah, no." And my father doesn't play. It's just me and my sister, his 2 biological kids.
Yeah.
When it comes to us, my father will fucking like go to jail. And he was in that hospital bugging, and ever since then, no flu shot allowed in that house. So now looking at the COVID vaccine, I'm like, okay, global pandemic. I understand that it's necessary, a vaccine, but they made it way too quickly.
No, they did.
Like, where's the vaccines for everything
I
else?
swear to God, they legit said it would be we wouldn't have a vaccine till like 2022, and now we have it at the end of 2020.
And I understand like hard times, like necessity creates invention.
Yeah.
So it's like I understand maybe they could have, maybe it does work. I don't fucking know. I'm not fucking testing it. Let all these old people get it first. Let all the healthcares get it first. But it's just something, and plus I've been exposed to fucking COVID like 4 times already, so I haven't caught it. Part of my superhero.
You don't think you've ever had it?
I had
like we had a discussion the other day.
I had a bad cough for like a month, but no other symptoms, and I have allergies, and it was around allergy season, so I'm like,
I hate that I have allergies, bro, because like you listen in and you know me, so you know I'm a hypochondriac, and like anytime I have allergy symptoms, like just earlier, my girl probably is just sick of me at this point. That part of me, where I'm like, yo, like I asked her, I'm like, have you been coughing? And she gave me this weird look, like, no. And I'm like, is your breathing okay? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, I wake up, I have common allergy symptoms. I'm like, fuck, I have COVID. I'm gonna die.
my first thing is I Google symptoms, and it tells me.
Yeah, that's the second. Like, the first thing is I question myself, then I go on Google thinking I'm gonna be like okay, and then it makes it so much worse.
I usually get distracted by Google though when I go on, because like they have like those little things at the bottom, and it's like I end up reading like 10 articles before I remember that I'm sick. I'm like, oh wait, I'm cured. Like I distracted myself into being cured.
Yo, Google is terrible for you when you have anxiety. Period, because you're just like cough, then you Google it, and it's like COVID or lung cancer, and I'm like, okay, either or sounds great.
Tells me I've been smoking cigarettes for 10 years, and I believe it. Never touched a cigarette in my life.
Never.
Wow.
I just quit. Not just quit. I quit like a couple months ago.
Crack.
You not for real though? Are you admitting that right now on this podcast? Listen, I need to know.
Look at me. Do I look like I fucking do crack?
Yo.
I make way too much money to do crack.
So, all right, what would you do then?
Crack is whack.
Crack is cheap. So what would you do?
Cheap. Crack is whack.
What would you do? What's like the bougie drug that you would do? You make
fucking
money?
cocaine.
All right.
Look at Rick James.
Have you done coke?
No, I'm too broke to do coke. Too much money to do crack. Too broke to do coke.
Weed?
I get really anxious.
Nah, me too though.
So like, my friends laugh at me because once I'm like too high, I get really quiet, and you'll see me in the corner like, who's plotting on me right now?
Yeah. That's me all day.
Like, I'm like, if I had a gun, like someone's getting shot.
That's logical though. Me, I'm more dumb with it. Like I'll feel my heart start pounding, and I like focus on it, and then it starts pounding faster because I'm focusing on it, and then I'm like, bring me to a hospital.
I'm too headstrong. So if I'm not in control of my body, like I remember I took an edible. It was me.
Oh no,
James.
No. No.
I don't even want to tell this right now because I know if my sister sees it, she's gonna fucking pull up the videos and they'll be all over the fucking internet.
I love it.
But it was me, my mom, her friend, and yeah, it was just us 3. And my sister's dad, is the one who gave us the edible. Mind you, like I barely smoked at the time. I still barely smoke, and I've never had an edible before. This motherfucker gives us a cookie. It was like just a bar, and gives me a piece that's like this big. I'm not fucking knowing I was only.
That shit's
like,
a lot.
I was supposed to take a bite.
Oh my god!
My fat ass saw a cookie, and I'm like, ooh, this looks good. And I fucking gobbled that shit in like 2 seconds. He calls like 10 minutes later. He's like, "Is Devon in the back of the car licking the windows yet?" I'm like, "What?" Like his shit's weak, like, punk bitch. So I'm talking bad shit in the back of the car now. I'm like, weak ass fucking weed punk bitch. You can't fucking make a fucking
takes
edible.
forever to kick in, bro.
I didn't know that.
Oh my god.
I'm the sheltered ass fucking kid from Cranston. My dad fucking kept me sheltered from all that shit. So it hits my mom's friend right away. She knocks out in the car. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, she's already sick, so like she eats edibles just to make herself feel better and everything. And we get back to the house. Now she's like up, and my mom falls asleep on the recliner. I'm like, all right, whatever, punk ass bitches. Like, y'all can't fucking handle shit like that. This shit ain't fucking doing anything to me. And I'm steady talking shit in my mind, and all of a sudden my phone goes from right here to right here. And I'm scrolling down Facebook like this, not realizing that I'm like this, and my eyes just drop. I felt a whole wave crash over me. And like, it was like a cold chill kind of.
Yo, nah.
So once that wave crashed over me, my fucking eyes dropped, and I'm just smiling. And I'm like, why the fuck am I smiling? So now I'm talking to myself in my head, having a full fucking conversation. I'm like, don't smile, everyone's looking at you. So every time I told myself not to smile, I would crack a smirk, and I'm like, you're smiling. So just going back and forth with myself, I had this dumbass smile on my face the whole time. And then I stuttered real quick, and I'm like, what the fuck? I never stuttered. So then my mom's friend calls my sister, and my sister Tayana is like, what? Devon Ty? And I'm like, me and her can't stay serious together at all. Like, if I could be fucking shot. If I see her walk by me, I'm fucking cracking up and then dying. But she fucking goes on FaceTime. She looks at me and she goes, you're high? Ah! And starts laughing. And she has this loud ass, ignorant black girl laugh. And it fucking sets me off. And I'm like, please stop making me laugh. Like, sound like fucking sheep. And she goes, you're fucking stuttering like an idiot. And fucking starts laughing again. I'm like crying now, begging her to stop.
Oh my god.
And I can't stop laughing now. Now I'm stuttering, and my mom's like, yo, shut the fuck up. But now she's laughing. So everyone's heated with me, but we can't stop laughing. I'm like, yo, like, something's really wrong with me. So now my mom's too high to fucking go and get her boyfriend from work. And my mom's friend is like, oh, like, I can go, but I just need Devon to come in the car with me so I can get directions. So I'm like, all right, fuck. So my mom had a 2-door Solara. I have bad motion sickness as it is. My mom's friend was sick and loses feeling in her feet if she gets too cold. So the windows are up. It's a rainy day too. The windows are up. She's blasting the heat. And she goes, all right, where do we go? I'm like, at the right, take a left. And she's like, what the fuck did you say?
Oh my god.
I'm like,
this story's giving me anxiety right now.
I'm like, at the light, take a left. So then I was like, you know what? We were at the bank earlier. I said, it's right across the street from the bank. So she's like, all right, bet, fine. I know where we're at. So we get there and I'm like, fuck, now we have to call him. So I call him, and I'm like, Jose, we're outside. He goes, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, I'll explain it to you when you get in the car. So he gets in the car. Now I have to get in the back seat. Motion sickness kicks in because this motherfucker's driving now. So I tried to explain it to him, and then out of nowhere, I felt like I was going to fucking throw up. And I'm like, yo, it's fucking hot back here. So now I'm panicking. I didn't know where the fuck I was. I'm like, slow the fuck down. You guys are kidnapping me. Reached for my phone, tried to start calling the cops. They had to snatch my phone.
Oh my god.
So you know the fucking exit to Hartford Ave? Yeah. This motherfucker's flying on that exit. So I'm like, yo, like, slow down, speed demon.
Oh my god.
I was starting to call the cops. They snatched my phone. So when we get out, like, we get to the house. He parks the car. I get out, and a fucking raindrop hits me in my eye. So all of a sudden, I closed both my eyes and thought I was blind. So I grab onto him, and I'm like, Jose, I can't see. He's like, Devon, open your eyes. I was like, would you fucking tell someone who's in a wheelchair to walk? I was like, would you tell someone in a wheelchair to fucking walk? I was like, I can't see. You have to fucking bring me in the house.
Oh my god.
So he's like, all right, fine. Get in the house. Fucking panicking now. My mom's like, go take a cold shower. Me being the fucking smart ass that I am, I ran every fucking possible scenario that could happen. I'm going to go in the shower. I'm going to take a cold shower. Fucking slip, fall, die. They're gonna come in the bathroom. I'm gonna be naked.
Every scenario is
every scenario ended with me dying and them coming in finding me naked. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna wear a bathing suit into the fucking, like, some swimming shorts into the fucking shower. I was like, nope, because I'm gonna go reach for the fucking shorts and the whole fucking dress is gonna come crashing on my head. I had to lay down in bed until like the next morning and woke up high again. Yo. Never do an edible. Never again.
That was you on an edible. The first time, not the first time. The first time I smoked weed, for some reason I was fine, but I think I was with the right people. I'm learning more in the last year about weed and like what weed you should smoke or shouldn't smoke if you have anxiety or this or that or whatever. But like when I first smoked for some reason with my boys, I was straight. It was like good vibes. We played GTA. I also didn't hit it as much as I did the second time. The second time I took big ass hits and it was just like clearly not agreeing with me and my anxiety, bro, that it wasn't an edible. My shit was even more on some like pussy shit. Like I straight up was asking everybody to please call an ambulance for me.
I thought the cops were coming after me the first time I smoked.
Bro, I wanted the cops to come get me. In my head, for some reason, I thought, oh my God, I need the EMTs or whoever just to, like, police, fire, and rescue. I need you to come pick me up right now. I was drinking every time I smoke, no matter if I'm paranoid or not, I got to drink mad water. When I have anxiety, I need mad water. You noticed it at the mall the other day, probably I was drinking, like I need water every single time. Holiday shopping gives you mad anxiety, though.
Yo, it's been packed. And this bitch talking about fucking COVID testing in the mall?
How you feel about that? Do they have it in Prague or not? I think it's in Warwick.
Just Warwick. But you know what? Like, there's so many different places that you can do it.
That's
like,
just more lines in the mall.
More lines in the mall. And then there's people who are going into the mall to get tested. Okay, so let's say you think you have symptoms. You're going to go into a mall that's full of, let's say, 6,000 people on a busy day in the mall. And that's just a small amount. Like, the mall holds a lot of people, and there's no max capacity for the mall, just stores. So that's 6,000 people. One person comes in, feels like they get sick. Like, that they're sick, so they go to get tested. That person takes down their fucking mask to get swabbed real quick, or maybe they don't even have their mask on because some people are fucking dickheads.
Yeah.
Now COVID is like playing telephone with people, fucking bouncing from one person to another, and next thing you know, the whole fucking mall is infected. Like, I think that having the COVID testing in the mall is just creating it more of a hot spot than it already is. And you have the fucking convention center right there, and the Dunkin' Donuts Center that you can fit thousands of people in.
I don't get it. She's trying to make it more accessible. I know mad people who there's mad people out there who fucking get tested every week just for the fuck of it. And it's kind of ignorant. Like, unless you have symptoms, then I don't know. Like,
well, healthcare providers have to. Like, I have friends who work in nursing homes
that's
and they have
different.
to every week. But like,
there's
some people who are just like, and I get it. You're anxious. You want to make sure you're good.
Yeah, but like, fucking hang in there, bro. Pop a Klonopin or some shit.
But like, if you're staying home, what the fuck do you have to really
pop a pill and relax?
I'm afraid to pop pills. My first time. Don't fucking look at me like that. My boy hit me with
Get the fuck out of here.
Anyways, I'm afraid to pop pills. I don't like to pop pills. Last night was a special occasion.
I would be afraid to pop. You would be afraid to pop like a Xanax or something, though? Something calming?
I never.
Xanax is dirty. All right, let's talk about like your doctor. Like, you have bad panic attacks. Your doctor prescribes you like Klonopin or like.
I don't even like taking ibuprofen.
Fair. I went from being like that to like, if I'm having a really bad panic attack, I'm popping a Klonopin. Prescribed, though.
I have a dog.
Yeah.
Emotional support dog. As soon as he sees me like about to have a
yeah, but what if you don't have your dog with you?
But I guess motherfuckers is just
riding it out.
We're riding the wave.
Nah, I can't.
What happens, happens.
I try my hardest not to take one, but in situations like, for example, me being on a plane, I'm like,
don't
yo,
be a pussy.
Bro.
Don't be a pussy.
Nah.
Don't be a pussy.
And they don't even do shit to me.
On
my way
a
back
plane?
here from nigga.
A plane?
You could do planes like just straight up?
Yeah.
Nah, I can't. I need a chaser. I need a chaser. Yeah.
Like,
I need a chaser for the plane.
my first time on a plane, though, I watched everything where a plane crashed. And
what?
part of my anxiety is making myself more anxious.
Yeah, that's me too. That's everybody with anxiety. Most people.
So me and my dad were going to Arizona, and I watched when Aaliyah died. I watched 9/11 videos.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I read about Amelia Earhart. I was watching Final Destination.
Did you watch Tom Hanks' fucking
Castaway?
Castaway? You should have.
Wilson?
Yeah.
You think I didn't fucking watch Castaway?
Yes.
Every single last thing where a plane crashed, I watched it. We get to that airport, and I looked at my father. I said, I'm not getting on this plane. Mind you, I think I was young. I was like, I'm not getting on this plane. He's like, what the fuck do you mean? I was like, I'm not getting on. I said, the plane's going to crash. So now I'm acting like the dumb white broad in fucking like Final Destination, fucking freaking out in the airport. I'm like, the plane's going to crash. I can't get on this. Like, I don't trust this. Like, it's going down.
Yo, tell me you seen the video of that dude bugging out
in
the airplane.
James, look at my skin color. This is post 9/11. My curly ass hair, my skin color in the airport talking about the plane's going down.
Yo.
And my father just shot me that look. And my dad has that look like, I will fucking kill you. Yo. And he like just shot me a look like, shut the fuck up and get on the plane. I'm like, the plane's going down. Like, I can't go on it. Fucking drags me on the plane. And I'm sitting in my seat like this. Fucking sitting up so straight, looking at the person next to me like, don't fucking touch me. Like, mind your own fucking business. Like, get me out. Like, just get me to Arizona and get me off the fucking plane.
Yeah. Oh my God.
My dad's like, it's like a roller coaster. I'm like, I don't even like roller coasters, motherfucker.
That's me.
Like, he doesn't like roller
Why the
coasters.
fuck do people think it's okay to tell you
I
that?
like roller coasters now, but my father say it's like a roller coaster. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't get on roller coasters.
I still don't like roller coasters, bro. I'm good.
I got on Superman for the first time.
You're crazy, and I'm good.
Like 2 years ago, I was fucking nervous farting the whole time. I was with my friend Jaylene.
Nervous farts feel mad good.
No, them shits were funky.
Nah, but they feel good. Obviously, they don't smell good, but they feel good.
I thought I was gonna shit myself. It was over quick, but like, nah, fuck that.
You ever have anxiety and like have to shit, or it makes your anxiety worse?
Whenever I was gonna get my ass whooped as a kid.
Yeah, I still have that though.
As soon as I knew that I fucked up and my dad was on his way home, I just had a pit in my stomach, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now, and I'm gonna hide in the bathroom for like 2 hours until he like lays down and wants nothing to do with me. It didn't work, but like
I'll have a panic attack at work. I'm in the middle of a fucking haircut, and like I'll stop the haircut right then and there to go drop a deuce because I have to. Because if I don't, my anxiety attack gets worse.
You're not taking a shit and finishing up my hair.
I will.
No.
And I'll come back and give you the sickest fade.
No, fuck that. You think you're gonna fucking leave me? Go take a shit. I can't even stay when my barber stops cutting my hair to pick up the phone.
People say that, and like,
Don't go for a cigarette break. My barber used to start cutting my hair and then go for a cigarette break. So I'm fucking going with like half my hair fucking shaved right here, and the other half curly. I'm like, I'm sitting in the fucking chair like looking at everyone else like.
That's
hey.
why I have mad anxiety about picking up my phone, and like if I do, it's like I throw it back because I hated that as a client, and I think people are thinking that fucking 24/7, and they should. That's mad like ghetto. Like that's like a ghetto barbershop thing. It's just like pick up your phone. Who?
Spanish people.
Yeah. I'm not even mad at you right now.
Spanish people.
I'm not even mad at you right now. I had my hair cut
by black people, and they will give you their attention, except for when they're talking to another black person in the fucking shop. But Spanish people, they don't.
I am not even mad at you.
About you. And then they be snatching your head all the way up. I'm like, yo, I'm fucking tender-headed. Like,
snatch your head all the way up.
Yo, if you don't look a certain way they want you to, that's like.
Oh, I do that to kids.
Move this way, Poppy. I'm like, yo,
I do that to kids.
Touching my face, man.
I swear to God, I do that to kids.
Yeah, no.
I'll do it while the parents looking too. Like I'll be like, oh, your kid's not gonna fucking pay attention. I don't give a fuck.
I hate kids.
I don't even like cutting kids, to be real.
I fucking hate them. I can't stand them.
Bro,
I could probably get fired for this, but I had this Asian girl.
Get fired, but
I had this little Asian girl running around my store one time. I think she had to be no more than like 4 or 5.
Why you gotta bring up that she's Asian?
Just to let you know. Like, I always like giving descriptions of people. And she was running around my store, and I told her like twice already. I'm like, you You can't run behind, like, you can't run behind my register.
I
like,
hate when they don't listen.
You can't run behind, like, around me. Like, stop running my store. It's not a fucking jungle gym. So the next time I saw her run, she tried to run by the register, and I stuck my foot out, and I tripped her. But, like, luckily she didn't fall all the way. Like, she just stumbled and she caught herself. Though. She fucking should have.
Yeah.
Learned her lesson. But she stumbled, and she looked back at me, and she's like, sorry. I'm like, yeah, learn your fucking lesson, little girl.
Bro, let me tell you something. I just went through something today. There's kids, little niggas at barbershops, bro, they're just, like, over the top. And it sucks. What makes it even worse is that I feel like I'm at a point in my life, and I think it's once you become a parent, you'll get it, where I already used up all of my patience for the week on kids on my kid. So if someone else's kid is acting up, it's a wrap. I want to, like, kick them into the ground, like, into the depths of fucking hell when they act up. And it's because I just used up all the patience on my kids. So, AKA, I hate every kid but my own. Obviously, like, family members and shit.
Nah, fuck the family members' kids.
Nah, I'm good. Like, it depends. There's some family members, like, distant cousins and shit that come over and fuck with your shit. I'm like, yo, I'm literally going to shove you back up your mom's vagina. And it's gonna hurt.
I had a cousin stop talking to me because I told her kid was ugly.
Nice.
I don't like that shit that there's no such thing as an ugly baby.
I don't like it either.
There is absolutely such thing. I think all babies are fucking ugly when they first come out. They're a fucking ball of mush. I don't care what you say.
My daughter was cute though.
She was probably a ball of mush, James.
Nah, she was cute. She was oddly skinny, and then when she was like fucking, she was a ball of mush maybe like when she was like 3 months old.
I don't like that squished up face and the gray shit. It looks like fucking like an alien coming out of it.
Oh, when they're first born, yeah, they look like a fucking pile of shit.
You know how many fucking people are like, oh, it already looks like. I'm like,
no, bro.
Who the fuck does
I'm
it look
talking like after that, when they get cleaned up, some of them look cute.
A lot of them.
When they're first coming out of the vagina, they all look ugly. Yeah.
A lot of them are fucking ugly. And my cousin showed me a picture of her baby one time. She's like, oh, look at my baby. And black people have a thing where it's either you say, bless your heart, or look at you looking like you're looking. And it's not a compliment.
Yeah, I've heard the second one.
Bless your heart means you're stupid as fuck.
I've heard the second one.
Like, that's all it means. If an old black person tells you, like, oh, bless your heart, child, or bless your heart, baby, it's like, you stupid as fuck. Get out my face. Yo. But it's a polite way of saying it because they're people of God. I
gotta tell you because it's a mutual friend, and it's a mutual friend. When Alexis had Alexandria when she was in labor, and even before labor, she like made me promise. I didn't promise, but she like tried over and over again to get me to promise that I would not look down there. And I would just keep saying like, all right, I won't. I never promised. That day, I just couldn't help but keep looking. And I instantly regret it. She was 100% right. I shouldn't have looked because it was just traumatizing. But then I cried. But it was like I was confused between crying over this beautiful moment and crying over the fact that like that can happen to a vagina and how much it would fucking hurt. Like I just imagined like the pain, bro. I don't give a fuck how much they inject you with. The epidural.
Have you ever seen the fucking procedure for an epidural?
Yeah, I was there.
That whole fucking needle sticking.
I was there.
I'm very squeamish.
They also told me not to look at that. I peeked over a little. I was like, yo, that's a big ass fucking
Things like
needle.
that make me squeamish, but I love watching pimple popping videos. I don't know why those are fucking soothing to me. It's gross as fuck, but like Dr. Pimple Popper, that's my bitch.
I can't watch shit like that. What? You just said you're squeamish, but you watch shit like that.
Blood. Blood is what makes me squeamish. I don't like it, and that's why I had to change majors.
What were you doing before?
I was gonna go for CSI work, and then I realized, like, oh, hey, I have to like see blood everywhere. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'll pass out right on the fucking scene. I'll be like, ah! Yo, it's over. I can't do it.
What was I gonna tell you? Oh, yo, these annoying ass kids. So, quick story. before I tell you what happened today, I was cutting this dude's hair, bro. And the whole haircut, he's fine, having a fucking good-ass conversation, vibing, whatever. However, he has 2 demon-ass niggas, white, running around I had to add that. Running around the shop, fucking bouncing off the walls, bro. Literally, like, just tearing the whole house down. Like, it felt like I was at a fucking Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Before we say anything else, you notice that's always the white kids, right?
Yeah, always. Because their parents are not, like, if I was acting like that in a barbershop, it would be 2 seconds and then I would get my ass beat right on the spot.
2 seconds is too long.
Right on the spot.
2 seconds is too long.
I would get tossed into the back room and then just, my dad or my mom would look at the barber, the owner of the establishment, and be like, yo, can I use your back room for a second? And you would just hear trauma that would later cause anxiety.
You knew better in a black household because you got the speech in the car. You better not fucking touch nothing. Don't look at nothing.
I struggle now because Alexandria's half white. I'll get to that later in the story. No disrespect. I don't think Alexis ever listens to this podcast, but white people handle it the way they handle it. Let's keep it a buck. We handle it very, very differently. I'm cutting this dude's hair. This wasn't today. This is like the origin story to my story. So I'm cutting this dude's hair. His kids are off the wall. There's a fucking sign on every single barber chair that says in writing, don't stand on the part of the chair that you put your feet on. This nigga, one of his kids, is using it as like if it was a fucking trampoline. So he keeps doing it. And his dad's not saying anything, like a Caucasian father. And I look at the kid and the fucking, like naturally I'm like, yo, can you stop doing that? His father just like shut down, vibes were off. Next couple haircuts, he comes in, he sees somebody else. He was heated at me. So he comes in today. His kids are running around, bugging out. The whole day, by the way, mind you, Alexandria, like, this is what I was getting at. Alexis being white, she parents differently, which is fine. I respect it. This is just my opinion. We're entitled to our opinions. White people parent differently, not saying it's wrong, but we parent us. We parent a certain way. Our parents it a certain way. So she likes to test me a little bit, and she likes to try to see what she can get away with because she gets away with other things elsewhere. And she kept coming out. I tell her to stay in the back room because it's COVID. Obviously, I'm like, yo, I don't want you out in the barbershop, whatever. So she comes out a couple times, and I'm like, yo, go back. Like I had to keep repeating myself. So these kids come in, and I'm like, I already know that if she's been coming out the whole day, she's going to come out now while these little niggas is wilding. Because she's going to think, oh, these niggas is wilding. I'm going to go out there and start wilding. So they're bugging out. She fucking tiptoes out into the barbershop, and I'm like looking at her, and she's walking past me, and I'm like, can you go back and go sit down? And she just ignores me, and it got me so tight, bro. I stopped my haircut. I pick her up. I bring it to the back. I fucking like legit dramatically put her down. I didn't like slam her, but I like dramatically put her down, and she's like, Dad, why'd you do that? And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And she's like, I just want to play with the boys. And I'm like, no, you don't want to play with those. I literally, bro, I bugged out, and I think the dude that was getting his hair cut, the dude that was cutting his hair heard me because he started laughing because we all know that the father's a fuck nigga. That's a different story. I literally look at Alexandria, and I'm like, you don't want to play with those boys. Those boys are stupid. You want to be stupid? And she's just like, no, I don't want to be stupid. And she like started tearing up. I'm like, all right, calm down. You're not going to be stupid. Just sit back here. I'm almost done.
See, look at you. You're a fucking punk ass. You could keep going with it.
Nah, but like that was it.
As soon as you see the tears, you're done.
I see the tears. I'm like, nah, I tap out now. But it was like, bro, I didn't give a fuck if the father heard me or not, but I literally just had to let her, like, that was my moment of letting her know, you may be half white, but that doesn't mean you have to be all white. Them niggas are dumb. Their father's not doing shit to them. That means later in life, they're going to be fucking little fucking shitheads or whatever. You're not going to be a shithead.
I can't even lie because I did it.
You did what?
I had a nanny. It was So I knew with my father not to play that shit.
Oh yeah, I know where you're getting at now
because I had my father's side. When we were in the store, I would rarely ask for anything. Like if I knew that he was in a good mood, I'd be like, hey, Dad, like, can I have this? And sometimes I get a yeah. Sometimes I'd be like, boy, shut the fuck up.
You had a white nanny.
And it was my grandfather's ex-wife who, like, still wanted to be part of my life. So, like, she would take me on weekends or whatever, bring me to, like, Cape Cod during the summer. And
putting two and two together, I feel like this white nanny or white ex is like your new sugar mama.
No.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay.
Positive. I just told you she's black.
Yeah, but you could have multiple sugar mamas.
No.
Okay.
That's
we'll investigate this further.
But no, we're not. Mind the business. Mind the business that pays you. But I think we were in like Target or Walmart, and I wanted this one toy, and she told me no, and I was like, "This bitch just tell me no." So I was like, I see this shit on TV. Like, let me practice this real quick. I dropped to the ground and start kicking myself through the aisle, and I think I was like 4, 5. Mind you, I'm a tall ass 4 or 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Kicking myself through the aisle, bumping into all these other white people. Like, I don't give a fuck. Move. Like, I'm on the floor. Move. You're in my way. She goes, Devon, get off the floor. I turned, looked at her, I said, did you just yell at me?
Oh, no.
I was like, I'm telling my father that you hit me. She said, I didn't hit you. I was like, stop hitting me! You're hurting me! Now the whole store is turning, looking at this white lady with this black kid like, yo, who the fuck is like old slave master hitting little Kunta over there? So I'm like, she's hurting me! Ow! Ow! And then she grabs me by my arm. I'm like, I don't know you! Let go of me! Fucking bugging. I wasn't allowed at her house for like 4 weeks.
Nice.
But, you know, black kids, we try to get away with it. We see little white kids get away, and my dad told me before, he's like, don't let little Timmy get you fucked up. And he used to tell my father, still to this day, will tell anyone, he's like, that was his name too for like little white kids, little Timmy. He's like, don't let little Timmy get you fucked up. He's like, because I'm not their father. And my dad didn't care where we were. He did not care. It was so funny too, because
in my little moment of like a baby blackout, one of the things I said was, I'm not your mother. And then I literally in my head I was like, I shouldn't have said that. She's gonna repeat that, and then there's gonna be a discussion.
Yep.
But it's true though. There's a difference between how that little Timmy shit is the most accurate shit.
You know what? I don't even want to get into education right now. I'm so fucking burnt out from school. But it's rooted within slavery. That was one of the big studies that I was working on. So with slavery, you know, like a big thing that I focus on is epigenetics and transgenerational, like emission of trauma. So it's like, how does trauma get passed down to their children? Like, can we still feel the effects of slavery? In short, that's what I'm studying. And
I know where you're getting
a lot of people will tell you, like, slavery's over, like, get over it. And I'm like, bitch, what? Like, it's not. Like, well, it's over, but, like, the effects are still there. And one of the things that we were just talking about, like, how I mentioned earlier, like, the black kids knew, like, stay by your mom's side. And that's because we were conditioned from slave times up until now. Like, say that you're a slave mom and you're working in the field, you see the slave master coming by, you say, boy, get over here, stay by my side. And the kid knows, don't go running over there with master's kids, because you're going to get sent inside. You're going to be the house Negro and then possibly sent off. Mom never sees you again. So by staying by her side, it protects you. So then you have to look at how it started getting passed down as like kind of like an unspoken rule at first. Like, even after slavery was done, like, kids stayed by their mom's side because now it's segregation and like still racism there. So like you could get snatched up and lynched. So now we're so conditioned to stay by our mom's side, and then other black people still look out for the other black kids. Like, I could be standing in line right now and you're there with your daughter. I see her running around. I'm gonna shoot her a look like, you know, your father's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And all black people do that, like, subconsciously, because it's something that was passed down, like, from generation to generation. Like, we know to look out for another black kid and let them know, like, yo, your ass is gonna get whipped. And that's just something that, like, stemmed from slavery. And then another thing that I study is how we were gonna talk about mental health. So this is a little segue into it, with the black parents, like how black moms are known for degrading their kids. I don't know if Spanish moms do it too.
Hell yeah, bro. Are you kidding me?
Black moms are known for degrading their kids. Like, oh, you're dumb, or you can't do shit right. And, you know, like, not growing up with I grew up with my father. My mom, like, I lived with my mom up until, like, 4, and then my dad took me. So it's like, my mom was just, hey, sis. Like, that was my sister. And going over, like, seeing my siblings and everything, hearing how my mom would talk to them compared to how my dad talked to me, my dad didn't allow you to say the word stupid in the house. You weren't allowed to, like, degrade each other because words have effects. So if you tell someone they're stupid for so long, they're going to start to believe they're stupid. And my mom had a bad problem with, like, telling my brother and my sister, like, you're stupid, like, I can't stand you pieces of shit. And that's because my grandmother did it to her, too.
Yeah.
So then as I got older, I'm like, yo, like, why is she like this? Like, does she fucking hate her kids? Like, I was really starting to wonder because I'm like, why? Like, it was starting to affect me badly. I'm like, why does my mom not like us? Like, every second she gets, she tells us how much she can't stand us. But then, like, on Facebook, she's like, I'm so proud of my kid. He's almost done with college. And
That always happens,
I'd
though.
be commenting on, like, bitch, fuck you. Fucking, I comment on her show all the time. I'm like, fucking delete this shit. So then as I started to look more into it, you know, I found this one professor, Dr. Joy McGroy, and she started talking about it more and it like started to open my eyes more onto how it was, and I stopped being so angry with my mom. I was able to, like, kind of move on because you have to think in slave times, like how I mentioned earlier, how, like, the mom would be like, get over here, like, so that slave master doesn't come and get you. You're in the field with your mom, and your mom's working hard, you're trying to work hard, and the slave master comes over and he looks at you, and then he looks at your mom and he goes, James is over there looking real good working. He's going to make me a lot of money someday. So what does your mom do? That boy can't do nothing right. He's dumb as hell. He can't work, and he wouldn't be worth like anyone's money. You wouldn't get much for him to try to push the slave master away from selling you so that you can stay with your mom. But then as slavery started to end, it was still deeply rooted into our tradition, like degrading so that protection. Like, degrading wasn't meant to degrade back then. It was meant to protect. And, you know, the black kids didn't know that, but the mom knew, like, straight away in her heart that that's what it was.
Yeah.
So then you have to look at modern day times, and it's like, say me and you are at a sporting event. Let's say my mom is the white mom, your mom's the black mom. And you look over, like, your mom looks over to my mom, it's like, oh, hey, like, Devon's on that track doing really good, and, you know, like, he's the captain of the team, and I heard he's doing really good in school, and, you know, you must be so proud of him, and he's doing great. And my mom's like, yeah, I'm so proud of him, and, you know, he's just like his father and his uncle and the whole side of the family, just, like, boasting me to seem better than what I am, too. Like, she's just uplifting me. Then my mom turns and looks at your mom and is like, well, what about James? You know, like, I see that he's, like, #1 in the state, and, you know, like, I heard he's graduating at the top of his class. And your mom goes, I wish that boy could do the same in the fucking house, like, clean the house as he's as good in, like, school and whatever. And you're like, yo, like, why can't you be proud of me? But then if the white mom were to be like, but are you proud of him? Like, well, absolutely. Like, I love that boy with all my heart and blah, blah, blah. I just can't stand when he does this. So it's something from slavery that got passed down but started to lose the meaning as time started to change.
That makes sense.
So for us as younger black kids, we have to start looking at history, understanding history to be able to start evaluating our mental health, understanding why our parents are like this, to, I want to say, educate them more to understand, like, so that they understand how damaging they are. And maybe things will change. Maybe things won't change. My mom's stuck in her fucking ways.
Yeah.
But, you know, some parents are open to hearing it. And, you know, it fosters a better community at home as to where if you don't say anything, then they're going to continue calling you stupid. You're going to start believing you're stupid. Now you have, like, bad, like, self-perception of yourself. So definitely looking back at history will help you understand today's mental health.
I agree with all that. I literally just said today, I'll even show you, like, literally just said this morning to my girl's mother, the exact words: times change, people change, ways, quote unquote ways change, I feel like sooner or later parents have to change their ways. They whether they want to or time forces them to, and then in turn they end up wanting to genuinely. I don't think, I mean, this year especially, and I feel like it's 2020, and this is the part of my podcast that gets like deep and not really on the goofy side anymore, but that's what happens every week. Like 2020 specifically, like everybody spends a lot of time like being like, oh, this year was shit, but I feel like I realized so many things this year. And one of the things I realized, and I kind of like obsess over it because it was such kind of like a breakthrough, is like I don't know if you're the same way, but like I saw a lot of the things and a lot of things my dad did and my mom did, and particularly my dad, a lot of his ways back then that changed over time when, it took a big conversation between me and him, but even before then, like you could tell, as the times changed, he started to make adjustments to how he parented and how he was and towards his kids and shit like that. And, like I spent a lot of my time resenting him for a lot of these things, but then I started to look at it, especially this year, from his perspective of like, well, why did he do the things that he did? Because he had his own trauma. Because he had his own trauma, and his dad has had his own trauma, and it just continues to get passed down over and over and over and over again.
And that's exactly what the transgenerational vision of trauma is. Like, how do we stop it from affecting our kids? And I commend my dad all the time. Like anyone who asks about my dad, the same exact way. Like you've heard me talk about my father. Like that's the first thing I do is say that's my best friend. Mm-hmm. And at first, he'll fucking tell you I hated my father. I used to. Yeah, I used to. Yup. That man will tell everyone to this day. He's like he still says I plot on him. Yeah. But you know what? Like growing up, like how I said, like he didn't allow like certain words in the house, like stupid or like anything like that. And I grew up with like 2 older stepsisters. I fucking hate Ann McGallis. That bitch stayed at my house. But like growing up with all of them, like I fucking hated being around them all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like I was the youngest. I was always bullied, and the first thing that came to my mouth was, "I'm gonna fucking call you out your name. Like I'm gonna make sure we all get in trouble now." Yeah. But you know what? Like my father ended that shit, and like he would tell me all the time, like when he would whip my ass, he's like, "I'm only beating you because I love you." He's like, "I'm not doing it because I want to." Yeah. He's like, "I'm doing it because I love you, because I don't want you to be a fuck up." And he would, like, I want to say a couple days later, like after like I'd be like punished, he would just like come and talk to me and be like, he's like, "I'm trying to give you what my father couldn't give me." He's like, my father would fuck us up for anything. And it's like, he would fuck them up. And he's like, "I'm not over here abusing you." He's like, like if you do something that warrants an ass whooping, he's like, "I don't want to see you like acting up." He's like, "You have to have like some kind of reinforcement in it." And I always commend my father for just learning like from the mistakes of his father. Mm-hmm. Like he wanted to be there. Like as soon as he knew that I was going to be born, everything changed for him. He stopped selling weed. He made sure like he was always working. If he had to get to work and he couldn't fucking find like $2 for the bus, that man was in the park finding quarters, pennies, nickels, anything he could do to make sure I had a better life. And my father has always made sure like I had a good life. No matter, like he could be walking around in his fucking underwear. As long as I had clothes, he was happy. And like he definitely learned from his mistakes, as to where I feel like my mom is still struggling because she had the ass end of my grandmother. My mom was the second oldest, but like the oldest in the household. Mm-hmm. And my grandmother was ruthless to her. And it's like, my mom was a young mom. I don't think she was ready to be a mom yet. And she was just stuck in like the partying phase. And that's why I kind of look at her as a sister, because, the way that we grew up together. But, she just didn't learn from the mistakes of her parents, and she's starting to repeat it. And, I fear for my siblings, like my brother, like my second youngest brother and my sister, because they're going to end up just like her. And, like I'm worried for them.
I hear that 100%, bro. 100% on the mom shit. On everything, but on the mom shit, that shit was scary because that's 100% accurate. The problem with my mom and a lot of old school parents, like across all cultures, especially foreign cultures from other countries and shit, old school OGs, like a lot of them still don't believe in anxiety or depression or any type of mental illness, and like the biggest
Pressing your ass out my face.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
my mom legit, like, still to this day doesn't. No, I don't believe in any of that stuff. Just pray. Just do this. I'm like, yo, fucking talk to somebody, dude.
And you know what? Growing up, even with my father, as much as I say like my father is great, this and that, like as bad as I was suffering when I was younger, never talked to him about it. And I saw my dad suffering. Like when my uncle killed himself, it was my godfather, my dad's best friend. My father lost his, like he just wasn't himself. I saw him every day starting to slip away. And it was around like this time of year. And finally, like I ended up spending Christmas at my mom's house, but he ended up having to go to like a mental hospital. I didn't know that until like I was older. But like he never talked about it with me. Like he never let me know what was going on. And then that's when I started to like suffering from like bad like anxiety, bad depression. And one thing that always got me was as bad like as me and my mom weren't together, my mom was always my mom. Like no one could tell me anything about my mom. Like when I wasn't living with her, I thought she was the greatest person in the world.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really know her as a person. And I used to watch like my siblings' parents beat on, like my siblings' dads beat on my mom. So it's like that would always play in my mind because I was the oldest and I was able to still remember that. To the point where like I broke down, like I think I was in like 3rd grade at Eden Park. I just had a bad mental breakdown one day and I was like, someone's beating my mom right now. And like they had to pull me out of class because like I was just shaking. And I don't think my mom ever noticed because like I remember we were driving right over by here. My dad was driving back to Cranston, right where the highway is to get to Cranston and like to go to Hartford Ave. My mom called and my mom's like, why is Devon school calling me? And she called, like, I got on the phone and I'm like, are you okay? And the first thing she did was, why the fuck would you tell your school that like this is happening? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm literally fucking breaking down right now, worried about you, and the first thing you do is spaz on me. And it's like they don't understand the mental health effects that go into it, and like not having anyone to talk to because the fact that one, black men shouldn't like be sad or like, and not that my dad ever really told me that. My dad always like made a safe haven like for me, like if I had to talk about like anything that was going on, but like he never like openly said like, hey, like if you need to talk, come over to me. It was more or less like, hey dad, I'm feeling like this, and then he would talk. So it's just making sure that like your kids know that you're there for them and understanding like, hey, like I know mental health is a real thing, to make sure that they know that they're not suffering alone, because so many kids from a young age too, like they're suffering, they don't know what the fuck is going on. They think they're just sad for the moment, but then sad for the moment turns into sad for days and then for weeks or whatever.
Yep.
And they don't know what's going on, to the point where you start to see your own kid change. Like now to this day, like because of the fact that I didn't have anyone to talk to, I love being alone. I will lock myself in a room for like fucking 3 days at a time and I'll be the happiest I am. But everyone else thinks I'm depressed. I'm like, no, it's just like I learned to cope with things alone, to the point where like being alone is like fucking heaven sent right now. Like being around you guys is aggravating the fuck out of me. Like honestly, hearing your voices make me anxious, but like it's like things like that, like like
I feel that
if you're forced to cope alone, you start to enjoy being alone because you learn that like you're all you have at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So just making sure you have someone to like talk to, making sure that you have someone who's like just kind of like your anchor in a way, to make sure that like you're good.
Yeah.
That always helps.
This shit just got deep quick.
I'm still looking at Precious on my screen right now.
Are you serious?
I'm being so serious right now. Don't judge me.
Why?
I love Precious.
Can we get a Precious impression before we end this?
I don't think it's time yet.
You have to.
I don't think it's time yet. I will. I will before we go. I will. This is a great movie. This whole time, like we've been talking, like I've been trying to stay serious, and I don't know if you saw me crack a smirk.
Well, this podcast like gets serious, but it's mostly just goofy shit. So you're in the right place for it, bro. He's like, don't put me on the spot.
This is a good fucking movie. Mariah Carey looked like her crackhead sister, though. It wasn't a good
I don't like Mariah Carey.
It's been real. What the fuck?
I do not like Mariah Carey.
Christmas?
You like Beyonce?
No.
Okay, good.
No. Solange is better.
All right.
I have very...
That's the worst Christmas song of all time, though.
What?
The Mariah Carey
go ahead and
Christmas song.
You think that's fucking...
The worst.
She wrote that song, and so many people... Like, everyone thought that was, like, an old song, and she made it fucking timeless.
Morgan Freeman could have wrote that song. She sang it.
Don't piss me off. Morgan
I don't...
Freeman.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
He's God. You don't like Morgan Freeman?
I do, but you fucking think... Don't disrespect me.
No, I'm saying Morgan Freeman could have written that song, but the fact that she sung it, I don't like it.
Who was... Because she sung it?
Yeah.
So you're a fucking hater is what you're admitting.
I just don't like Mariah Carey.
You're admitting that you...
Why do I have to be a hater?
You admitted that you're a hater. Because you said because the fact that she wrote it.
No, because she sang it.
If Morgan Freeman wrote it,
because she sang it.
She has the fucking voice of an angel.
She doesn't.
Not currently, but she has the voice of a fucking angel.
No. I think she's so annoying. I'm so dead ass. I'm not even trolling. I don't like Mariah Carey. I'm not. I wish I was.
How can you not like?
I don't.
You probably like Ariana Grande.
No.
All right, good.
I also think she's annoying as fuck.
I can't fucking.
She's so annoying, and I feel like she gets away with so much shit.
Are we just gonna forget the time that she licked food, like she licked donuts?
Yeah. How about the fact that she like legit, practically almost like blackfaced, bro? But that went under the rug because she's Ariana Grande. What? Also, I find niggas who like find her attractive very, very creepy.
I won't say she's ugly.
Huh?
I won't say she's ugly.
She's not ugly.
She's not ugly.
But she looks like she's 11 forever.
It's because of the ponytail. She needs to grow up.
It's just her.
She needs to grow up.
It's not just the ponytail.
The way she dresses.
It's her face and her voice. I find niggas who find
that Nickelodeon show pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I find niggas who find Ariana Grande attractive very, very creepy. I'm sorry if you like not. I find niggas who obsess
okay,
over better. Ariana Grande creepy because she looks 12 forever. 11. I'll even say 11 forever. Ariana Grande looks and sounds 11 forever. If you obsess over her, you're creepy and you probably like 11-year-old girls.
I have a serious question for you right now.
Go ahead.
90s J-Lo or 90s Shakira?
Shakira.
I asked this question at work, and everyone's just so obsessed with fucking J-Lo's ass that they weren't looking at Shakira's face. I'm like, Shakira had a nice ass too, but like...
There's something about... I go over the top on this podcast all the time. There's something about just being able to like nut in 2 seconds because a girl's face is that beautiful.
The hips.
They don't lie. Let's fucking go. Yo, my boy Ant would actually appreciate the shit out of you because we were both getting so equally heated. My mom had Shakira's whole discography. I don't know Ant's story. He's been a Shakira fan from day one though. But like, bro, we had this heated debate with everybody because like, it was so annoying. 90% of people were up fucking J-Lo's ass at the Super Bowl.
I'm not a fan of the fucking Super Bowl with her sucked. I don't think J-Lo can sing. I don't think she can perform. I don't think she's a good artist.
I agree. And Shakira is just like way better in so many different
talented.
areas.
She can play different instruments. She can dance.
She's
sing.
more attractive.
Thank you.
But for some reason, still, there was like 90% of people were literally like, oh, J-Lo, like, bro, shut the fuck up. Oh, J-Lo killed it. Like, Shakira's lucky to have shared this. Nigga, shut up.
You know who else looks good?
Who?
Mariah Carey.
Get the fuck out of here.
You know what, though? Like, I respect your opinion.
You're not gonna disrespect her. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
I find her so annoying.
How?
I just do. Her voice is annoying. Not as annoying as Ariana Grande. And the niggas who obsess over her who probably watch TikToks of 14-year-old girls.
I was like, I used to obsess over Mariah.
That's fine. At least she doesn't look 11.
This is true. Mariah got some big old tits, so I think that was my problem.
She does.
You know, I thought I was like 2 Chainz when I was younger. I used to call myself Titty Boy. My dad dated this one.
You do look like a titty guy.
Yo. When I was younger, my dad dated this one chick, Corey. And Corey, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, you already know. She tells the story to everyone where she thought I was the sweetest kid in the world. Every time I saw Corey, I would hug her. And like I was.
And you were just.
I was in 3rd grade, and this is when my dad first met her, and I was always hugging her.
Let's get it.
And
I know where this is going.
Corey's like 4'11". I was like 5 feet at the time. So I would hug her, and my face was always in her tits, and she thought I was the sweetest kid. She would always tell my dad, Devon is so sweet. I love him. He's always hugging me. And my dad's like, oh, yeah, he's real sweet. She's like, yeah. And then finally, like, my dad would just let her, like, go with it for a while. And then finally, like, she's like, oh, I just love that he hugs me all the time. My dad's like, you fucking know why he's doing it, right?
How old were you?
3rd grade, so I was 8.
Bro, I was a little horn dog, too. But this is what's so ass backwards about my life. And I've said this before on here. I'm a late ass bloomer. I lost my virginity when I was 17, but I was a horny ass kid when I was like 8. I don't know if you're the same. You can say whether or not you lost when you lost virginity, whatever. I lost my virginity mad late compared to other boys and kids in my fucking schools and shit. When I was in like middle school, it was like fucking 12, 13-year-old kids like, oh yeah, I did. I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Middle school, I thought that was way too, like, freshman year of high school, okay. But, like, when I heard people in, like, 5th and 6th grade,
I'm like, wait, what? Like, I was a soft-ass nigga. I was like, I'm
playing, like, Guitar Hero.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to live my life.
But I don't, thinking back on it now, like, I was, like, 8 years old, like, doing shit like that. Same shit. I would be watching fucking Disney Channel with HBO after, or Cinemax After Dark fucking on last. Until my brother ratted me out.
You see, I was a very good kid.
Not me.
I can't, except for like middle school. I got caught with my dad's porn. Middle school is when I got caught with it.
If my dad caught me watching porn, this is the dope thing about my dad compared to my mom. If my dad, during this part of my life, I wish I also lived with my dad because they, like, my mom and dad, my dad is Dominican but also Puerto Rican, and my mom's Dominican, so AKA they're divorced. So, yeah, exactly. So I lived with my mom for a bit. My mom found out I was watching porn fucking on the illegal little black box and shit that we used to all have. She found out I was watching porn on that at night. Fucking full-blown ass whooping. My dad, however, if he found out I was watching porn, it would just be a discussion. Listen, if you're going to do this, put a condom on. He would have told me that at 8 years old, and I would have not known what a condom was until fucking 17, but he still would have said that.
I fucking wish that's how the conversation went. I was grounded.
By your dad?
Yeah, because my fucking little sister Jasmine was in my room. I fucking hid the shit under my mattress. Like, I had a mattress and a box spring, and I would fucking hide the disc, like, under the fucking mattress. Jasmine was laying in my bed. She fucking pissed my bed. I was like, why was she in my room? So she pissed my bed. They go to change the fucking sheets. With my luck, they fucking find the shit. So my dad was like, your sister could have found that. I was like, why the fuck was my sister in my room if she has her own room? And I fucking got in trouble for that bullshit.
Yeah, it's probably the way you reacted, though.
I didn't react anyway.
You're a little sassy, Devon.
No, with my father?
No. Yeah, I believe that.
Nah.
No, my dad, legit, I wish, looking back, like, my mom, sure, she had every right to, like, whoop my ass. But I'm just saying, if my dad found out I was watching porn at that time, instead, he would have sat me down, knowing him, and he would have been like, listen. He would have, like, asked me questions. He would have been like, what did you do?
You know what the first video I saw was?
What?
Freak Nick.
What?
Freak Nick.
What is that?
You don't know what fucking Freak Nick is? You're not black. Freak Nick is when...
I'm technically black.
You're not black.
Okay.
You didn't get powers.
I got powers.
You didn't fucking get powers.
I did.
You didn't get powers. You didn't even fucking know what was happening.
I didn't.
Exactly. But... How do you not know what Freak Nick is?
I don't. Why don't you just tell me what it is?
Black people are raunchy.
Okay.
And Southern black people are really raunchy. Have you ever seen, like, Jamaican parties, like, when like, they jump off a fucking ladder and they're, like, swimming? Like, I'm like, yo, like, you're not hurt? Like, what? Freak Nick, like, it's kind of like a PVD fest. I don't know if they do it in like Atlanta or whatever, but like,
oh, this is an event.
Yo, fucking people just like random strangers grabbing up on your pussy and shit, and like you don't give a fuck. I'm like,
you know what was part of my, you know what's probably part of my trauma is that my mom used to throw these crazy house parties, and I used to watch my cousins get grabbed by the pussy like left and right, and I'd be like, "What's happening? This just happened."
Yo, you can't
like
touch
I would
your
literally,
knees.
yeah, exactly. Like I would be walking around and like I just didn't get it. Like that had to have been part of my trauma. Just walking around a Dominican family party at fucking 5 years old and be like, why is that uncle grabbing her pussy? And why is that uncle grab? And I would just be like, what's happening? What are they doing? Is this like, what is that? Is that a way to check something? I don't fucking know what it was. I was so confused and bothered. I was just like, what the fuck? Why is it so hot? Why is it 12 and is there school tomorrow and there's mad niggas in the crib right now?
That's when you Spanish people party too fucking long.
I'm good. I can't. I came out like I don't know. My dad is like, I came out like my dad. I feel like generation after generation after generation. And my grandfather, even my dad's dad, he was very relaxed. We're just very relaxed. We're not like that.
It's just Dominicans will party until like 7 o'clock in the morning. And for no reason.
I don't get it.
There's
times I can do that. There's times that I can do that. But most of the time, I'm in bed by like
the
fucking...
The only reason I was up until 7 o'clock today
is because
of homework. Other than that, I'm fucking knocked out by like 4.
There was another reason too, you know that. Mr. Pill Popper.
Oh, I'm not a fucking pill popper. It was one time. And I said I was up until 7 a.m. for one reason. Don't fucking put my business out there. What the fuck? Anyways.
You're going to hit me up when you get home. Yo, can you edit that out?
You fucking Dominicans just party too much. I can't do it.
I got the hookah right there and everything.
Of course you fucking do. Because all fucking Dominicans do is lie, smoke hookah, and fuck their cousins.
It's
the truth.
My God.
It's the truth.
I didn't fuck any cousins.
Dominican women act fucking naughty all year, so Santa Claus brings them coal for their hookah. Like, maldita sucias.
This nigga, man. I didn't fuck my cousin.
Yet?
No.
Maybe she's your cousin.
Maybe. I don't know. But she's Armenian, though.
You could be Armenian.
There was a very almost Dominican situation at one family party.
You see?
Almost, though.
You see?
Like, I literally was like, oh, that's my fourth cousin.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. We won't go in that closet. Cousin.
Dominicans don't care.
Nah, I cared. Like, I was about to be in a closet, make-out session, nothing crazy. And then I was like, oh, that's my fourth cousin. Never mind.
The rules that Cape Verdeans follow... Let me backtrack. The rules that American Cape Verdeans follow, because I can't really say anything about the motherfuckers back home. They fuck their cousins. But you don't date anyone with the same last name. Like, anyone that has, like, a last name that's within your family, you don't fucking...
Can we be 100% honest? I feel like, I'm just going to make this assumption. You just said that about Cape Verdeans, Dominicans. There's a long running joke that there's, pretty factual, that they fuck their cousins. I am going to go as far as to say that in every culture, there are people who fuck their cousins. White people are the only ones. They do it. Hold on. White people will go the extra mile and not only fuck their cousins, but fuck their sisters and then impregnate them.
You can't just say white people, though. History shows that black people did it.
What?
Egypt, full of fucking inbreds.
Wow. Okay, never mind. I stand corrected.
You have to keep the bloodline pure.
Well, the Alabama shit is crazy, though.
Egypt was before Alabama. You have to keep the bloodline pure. That's why all the motherfuckers had, like, club feet and...
Wow.
The British do it. The British still do it, actually.
Wow.
I think the Queen and her husband right now are cousins.
Nah, because I had a white dude thought it was fun. We were ball busting. It wasn't serious, but he thought it was funny to be like, oh, like you're Dominican. Like he was in my chair. He's like, oh, you're Dominican. You guys fuck your cousins. What's that all about? And I'm like, you guys fuck your siblings.
Fucking
and
white people raided the
them.
world for fucking spices for how many years and don't know how to use it? Like,
yes, that is.
White people should not make fucking jokes about race with anyone else when there's so much shit about them.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't. I love
And
white people.
I do. I love white people, but I can also cook them.
You're a cool ass white person when I say I can't stand white people around you.
All right, we need the fucking Precious right now.
I need you to do it first.
Well, I can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't.
I've done it before.
That's not my thing.
You do
That's
it
not my
I
thing.
need to see you do it first.
I'll read a Soulita
If you're
ad.
putting me on the spot, now I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Well, we're an hour and 20. We're about to end. I need you to fucking.
People in hell need ice water.
That's cute. I'm just gonna show people.
Can I do it?
Get the fuck out of here.
I've been wanting to do it. I've been wanting to do it the whole night.
Yo, let me read
I've been
this.
watching that one button.
Jimmy's Diner is brought to you by Soulita Soap, friends of Devon and myself, which is now available at Plant City. Soulita is a local skincare and soap company specializing in organic products for your skin and beards. Go support a local black-owned business during the holiday season and treat yourself to some amazing stocking stuffers like shea butter and their amazing beard sets.
Can you read this with a little bit more emotion?
I never do.
I'm not getting like.
I never do. Ever. You want me to say something like, you will be satisfied?
I'm just saying, like, if I'm watching this, I would change the channel. I'd be like, oh, wow, click.
You realize that no podcasters reach it with emotion.
I would.
Well, I'm not. Especially because it gets repetitive. And then I ask her to send me a new ad at 9, and then she sends it to me at 10.
Lexus is a very busy woman.
Half asleep. Everybody's fucking busy, Devon.
She's running an empire right now.
Okay. Soulita, for your very own. How you like that?
I felt like the Spanish in it, the Soulita.
Soulita. Para ti, Soulita. Shout out to that 2 a.m. live, because we would have never been here.
Shout out to Woonsocket.
Fuck Woonsocket, first of all.
Lexus, we love Woonsocket.
She just needs to get out of there.
She does. She does not belong in Woonsocket.
What's worse than Woonsocket in Rhode Island?
Oh, I was about to say, if we're talking about worse,
In
I'd
Rhode
say
Island.
Brockton. I'm not gonna say it because everyone's gonna think Pawtucket, but like Central Falls, fuck Central Falls. That's what's worse.
I think West Warwick is the worst.
I lived in West Warwick.
I'm sorry, but West Warwick is the worst.
I lived right across from the station fire.
I don't know. Where is that?
West Warwick.
The station fire?
You're not from Rhode Island.
I'm not. I am NY made Jimmy.
New York is fucking dirty.
No, it's not.
It's dirty as fuck.
No, it's not. Here's a random fact about New Yorkers. If you say that New York is dirty to New Yorkers, they'll get heated and defend New York to the death. But they, in their hearts and minds, know that New York is dirty.
It's dirty as fuck.
I can say that.
I went to Coney Island, and I was
Your first mistake?
I was like, yo.
Coney Island is trash.
Like, someone asked, like, for $1, and I thought he was getting ready to snatch me up. I'm like,
bro, Coney Island is trash. That was your first mistake. Also, I don't understand why people from New England, just people all over the world in general, I assume, they go to New York, they go straight to Times Square, and then they come back and they're like, New York wasn't all that good. It's like, bro, you went to literally the most New York tourist place you could have gone to.
Battery Park.
Battery Park is beautiful.
I like Battery Park.
I want to have sex at Battery Park.
I fucking hate New York, so I won't go back to Battery Park, but it was nice.
And you're going to call me dirty for it, but I want to have sex at Battery Park before I die.
It's like having sex in Kennedy Plaza.
No.
That's exactly
You're not going to compare Kennedy Plaza to fucking Battery Park. There's no way.
New York is like a giant Kennedy Plaza. That's all it is.
Get the fuck out of here.
I disagree.
I'm being so serious right now.
Are you? I feel like this is revenge for Mariah Carey.
I'm not even lying. New York is fucking.
This is revenge for Mariah Carey.
I mean, if you want it to be, it can be, but I'm being so serious with you.
Well, I think that that's false. Yo.
New York is fucking filthy.
I love New York.
I can't. I remember my father. We were going to see my great grandmother, and mind you, sheltered kid from Cranston. I'm fucking driving in New York with my father, and I fucking see the whole fucking SWAT team jump out and fucking attack this guy on the street. I was like, please get me out of this state now. It's like, I can't fucking do this. They're gonna fucking come and get you next. Like, I can't do it. Fucking New York, there's always something going on. Fucking rat ran across my foot when we were in downtown. I can't.
The rats are traumatizing.
Yeah, no.
That's another thing on my
like
list.
the size of a cat.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Are you really not going to do the precious thing before we end?
Are you not gonna do it?
I can't.
Yeah, you
It's
can.
not my thing.
It is.
It's not my thing.
It is.
It is not.
It is. What if I say, Jimmy's Diner Show, this program is brought to you in part by viewers like you. Thank you. Sound like PBS Kids?
Yes.
I was waiting for it.
Were you one of the kids on PBS
I
Kids?
was not. I wish I was. I'm not even lying. I love PBS Kids.
All right, if you're not going to do the precious
Can
thing,
you just do it?
before we wrap up, I need to tell you something firmly to your face. Home Alone 2 is the greatest Christmas movie ever made.
It's negligent. It's showing white people like just being white people.
Okay,
How do
but
you
it's
fucking
hilarious.
Forget your kid
All right,
twice. How do you?
Let's be real though. You know that white people are negligent. You're 100% right when it comes to their kids, and Home Alone showed that. But you also know that when you see a white person being negligent, you laugh.
It's not better than The Grinch.
It is.
You're not. No,
It's way better.
It's not.
It's way better.
Not. I was literally watching it the other night, and it's like no. I would
It's
fucking
so
shot.
good.
Like the kid should have been shot already.
It's so good.
It's not.
He's a genius.
No, he's not. He's a fucking idiot. The fucking robbers were just dumb. That's what it was. The robbers were dumb. Had they have been real fucking robbers, he would have been fucking dead.
Show some respect to Joe Pesci though.
Fuck them. Fucking dumb. Like, show respect to Jim Carrey. Jim
Bro.
Carrey is like the greatest fucking actor.
What?
I stand by it. Jim Carrey is one of the greatest actors.
You said the greatest actor,
One
and
of
I
the
was like,
greatest.
wait,
One of the greatest. One of the greatest.
bro.
You probably fucking think Johnny Depp's the greatest.
I do.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking queer.
I do.
He's not.
Who is
Now that we're saying it, Jim Carrey is.
the greatest actor?
Jim Carrey's
This
fucking
nigga's
greatest
just
actor.
saying shit now just because of the
Jim Carrey.
Mariah. This is the Mariah Carey revenge.
No.
I'm calling this podcast "Fuck Mariah Carey." That's what I'm gonna call
I
it.
will Photoshop
The week
your
of
face on
Christmas.
every fucking Nick Cannon picture with Mariah Carey.
Do it.
I will.
Yeah.
Fucking piss me off.
Yo. Oh
Wait,
my.
Who the fuck was
God.
who was gonna watch today?
I didn't
Sev.
Twitch it. I didn't Twitch it. But
We
it's
just
gonna be
have-
out in the morning.
Prince is better than Mariah Carey. I mean, wow, Prince is better than Michael Jackson. That's what I had to say. Piss her off right
While
there.
we're on the subject, like, of Home Alone and Michael Jackson, do you think that something happened between Michael Jackson
You know,
and Macaulay Culkin?
I always feel awkward with this conversation.
Nope, we're talking about it. This
I always
is a
felt,
podcast.
because you know what, like I like Michael Jackson. I get a lot of shit because people think I don't like him because I'm a fan of Prince, and it's like I don't want to think he did a lot of shit that people.
I don't
said
want
he
to
did,
either.
but
Macaulay Culkin is one of those people who like. So we talked about this like it was me and two of my other boys. You probably it's like one of the fucking highest listened to ones or whatever, and we had this discussion, and I mentioned how like Macaulay Culkin, I don't know when it was an interview a couple years back, or probably around the time of the documentary, and he straight up was like, he was one of the people who like denied it. He was like, oh, Michael's never like shown me that type of side or whatever, and then I like played like, I don't know if it's devil's advocate or whatever, but in my head, and I said out loud, I was like, would Macaulay Culkin say anything?
why not?
Because he was like, he's the fucking man because he's in Home Alone 2. But he was on some shit. Exactly. That was my point.
Jim Carrey's not.
I wasn't, all right. I'm not over here saying that Macaulay Culkin's a fucking one of the greatest actors. I'm just saying the movie itself. But anyway, as much as I love Home Alone, as much as I love MJ, he went through some shit. He was a fucking he was a junkie for all intents and purposes. So would he say anything?
I mean, a junkie, yes, I think would, just to get more attention, because the more attention that you get.
But him and Michael were boys, though.
But you have to understand, he's using drugs, so now his mind is mentally impaired. So him getting publicity for saying Michael Jackson touched me, now you're gonna get magazine and like news coverage, which means money flow in, which means drugs. Fair. So no, I don't think he did it. Okay. At least with Macaulay. Now, the other kids?
I don't want to believe it. But
no grown-ass man should have kids sleeping in his bed.
Yeah, that's weird.
And that's where I have a hard time believing that Michael Jackson didn't do, like, anything with the kids. Because I'm like, you know, like... And for a parent, like, how do you feel comfortable with your fucking kid? I don't care how famous someone is.
See...
You're not sleeping with my fucking kid.
That's where... So... On one end, I was like, Michael Jackson should not have had kids in his bed, whether he did shit with them or not. On the other end, the parents of these kids speaking out as like quote unquote victims now, it's like, bro, you're not a victim. You're as bad as Michael Jackson.
You sold your kid. You knew what the fuck you were doing. And it's like, I put the blame on both of them, but like Michael, like, he did it.
He did it.
But you know
Even
who didn't do it?
Who?
OJ.
All right. Yo. Oh my God. If he's not going to do it, I'm just going to close out this podcast with this hilarious video of my boy. Because this shit's mad funny.
I'm just waiting for you to do it, and then I'll do it.
I can't do it. It's
just
not my fucking thing.
Pull up the fucking script. I was like, what the fuck is so hot over here? The candle.
What is it? Oh, is it?
Yeah. I was like, I had my hand right here, and I was like, why is my hand burning? Is this my power?
Why can't I find your...
I'm part of the black community, so I can't really say OJ did it out loud.
You can
explain that to you.
What?
The black community. Fucking put this mic away. The black community can't say...
This thing is whispering me something.
The black community can't say that OJ did it. Because then we got
I know that.
So that's what I'm telling you.
You do realize that I'm technically black.
You're not part of my community. We don't accept you.
Okay, you don't accept me. That's fine. I am technically black though, whether you want to accept it or not. In two ways, actually, Puerto Rican and Dominican. So I'll join you and tell you OJ didn't do it. I know that.
Bring this microphone back.
I know that.
Okay. I have coworkers who will fucking say he didn't, and I'm like, yo, you gotta be careful. Like, people are listening at all times. Like, you laugh. I'm being
This is the thing that's going on Instagram. This right here is going on Instagram.
You laugh. I'm afraid that people are listening. If I say that I can get in trouble.
He didn't.
He didn't.
He did not do it.
All right, he did not. Okay.
Cause we're black.
Yes. you gotta be careful. I think that people be listening to me. Like, I gotta close this.
Yo, this is so good. This is great.
No. You think you get anxious over fucking being in the mall? I get anxious just talking about OJ.
But why wouldn't you? He has Twitter now.
You go in the fucking mirror and say that motherfucker's his name three
Nah,
times.
all jokes aside, OJ Simpson's Twitter is mad funny. It's so funny, dude. He's so awkward. He's literally like your fucking 48-year-old uncle who like shouldn't have a Twitter.
Did you see when that news reporter went up to his door and he opened and he goes,
No, he didn't.
A motherfucking coon. There's no other word to describe him than coon.
Oh my!
I'll have to send that to you. He literally, she got scared. She said, "Ah!"
Nah, I have to look this up now.
Yo, coon.
What? Interview stab. That's one of the first things that comes up. Oh my God, dude.
I have his book if I did it too. Not saying that he did it. Just if he did it, hypothetically speaking.
What?
To an extent, taken from me. My kids don't have a mother, and people want to ignore because of their, as far as I'm concerned, either ignorance, and in many cases,
save your breath. You're innocent. You got off. What kind of racism is that? You're free.
You know what? Let me tell you
You're
something. And this, and
Why do you go on?
because I'm talking to you. No, I didn't. Let me start it.
You can't
on
take
this
black
subject.
people serious.
So if you promise that you will not ask me another question
I will
about
never
the case,
ask you again.
we won't have to talk about it anymore.
Just did you
He's
do
so
it?
aggressive.
No, I didn't. Nope. Did not do it.
He's so
After we finished filming, OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely.
Oh, wait a minute. This thing?
Yes.
Yo.
Straight
Nice for me,
ass
and I
coon
genuinely
for
was
that.
surprised. I think it was his idea of a joke, and this is it.
And smiles on the camera.
Oh my God.
But like I said, since we're on the subject of OJ, and before we close it out, you're dating an Armenian, and we're talking about OJ. Do you think Courtney's a Kardashian?
This nigga.
I'm so serious. That lingers on my mind all the time. I'm like, there's no way. She got superpowers last night. Like
She did. She
definitely
her
got it.
OJ's her dad, bro.
OJ's her fucking. Okay.
So she's not Armenian.
A lot of people won't admit it.
Although my girl said that I think she's 100% wrong, but she thinks that they were 100% Armenian and they're not. I think no, it wasn't my girl. That's a lie.
No, just their dad's
owner.
Armenian.
Yeah, it's just the dad.
I
Yeah,
don't think their mom.
yeah.
Fuck them.
Jenner, bro, you're not gonna fucking no.
Jenner's fucking.
Yeah, you're not gonna fucking be Armenian, bro, with a name like that.
Caitlyn? Yeah, I can remember the name. Braylon. Bruce Caitlyn.
Oh,
I couldn't remember if the name was Caitlyn or not. It took me a second.
yeah. I'm not gonna touch that one.
Nope.
He said nope. We already went down a fucking.
Yeah, that was a bad rabbit hole. Delete that one out.
No, I'm not.
Delete
That's
that
what.
that one is gonna get my black ass in trouble.
But OJ didn't do it, and
not
he
at all.
what he did do though is impregnate Kris Jenner and Courtney. Chloe. Chloe's his daughter.
I always forget that.
Yeah, Chloe. She's the only one, bro. They all look Armenian. Like obviously, aside from the Jenners, they all look Armenian except for her. She doesn't look Armenian. OJ is her dad.
As long as you know.
I do know.
As long as you
And
know
you know
that
what else
OJ
I know? OJ didn't do it.
I need you to like pronunciate the T because you make me fucking nervous and I think people are going to break in here.
OJ Simpson did not do it.
Thank you. I just
Didn't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Devon will definitely return.
Jimmy's Diner was brought to you in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Oh shit! I thought something was on fire.
Don't fuck it. I thought my laptop was on fire.
I thought so too.
Don't. Anyways, Jimmy's Diner was brought to you in part by viewers like you. Thank you. I should have fucking been on PBS.
You should do the. You should do the fucking.
Like I could work at Stop and Shop and be like,
can you do it? You're gonna make me play the video?
telephone call on line 39. Telephone call on line 39.
I just want to tell you that I lost it when you said, and I shut my black.
You know what?
Do it.
Where is it? We have to put it. I have to watch it too.
And I had a child.
I'm playing it.
And what did you?
I need to watch
I had
it.
a man
Oh no, I need to watch like that.
and I had a child. And I had to take care of both of them. Okay? Did I want Carl to touch my baby? Because I would lay my baby. I would lay her on the side of me on this pillow. And it was pink. And it had this little white writing on it. And it had her name. 'Cause she was precious. And I would lay my baby on this pillow. And Carl would be laying on the other side. And then we would start doing it. And he reached over and
That's
he
a
touched
great
my baby.
movie. I
And
feel like
asked him,
everyone needs to
I
watch
said,
that movie
Carl,
at least
what are you doing?
3 times in their life.
And he told me to
Not
shut.
even just once.
Just one.
To shut my
It's
fat
like
ass up,
Passion
and
of
it
the
was
Christ.
good
I
for
can
her.
only digest it one
I
time.
had a man.
That is a great movie. When that bitch ever stole the bucket of chicken, I said, I
Oh
feel
my
you.
god! I can only like.
I had a man. I had a child. And I had to take care of both of them. Okay?
Did I want Carl to touch my baby? Because I would lay her baby. I would lay her on this hot me, on this pillow. And it was pink. And it had this little white writing on it, and it had her name. Because she was precious. And I would lay my baby on this pillow. And then Carl would go in on the other side. And we'll start doing it. He reached over and he touched my baby. I asked him, I said, Carl, what are you doing? And he told me to shut my fat ass up. Good for her. I shut my fat ass up. And I don't want you to sit up and judge me, Miss Weiss. He wanted to touch my baby. That was my fucking man.
That is a good movie.
That is a solid movie. What is it rated on Rotten Tomatoes?
That does not have a good fucking score.
I'm curious now. Yo. I'm dead. You just made my night.
That's a good. I'm probably gonna go home and watch that movie now.
I will not. Like I said, I can only digest.
I literally think you should.
I think that just like Passion of the Christ, once is enough for me because there's a lot of trauma there. It's a very it's a heavy movie.
You know what movie I laugh at that I shouldn't laugh at?
It's the Black American Sniper.
Have you watched What's Love Got to Do with It?
Yes.
I laugh every time and I feel bad, but that limo scene fucking gets me. Because them motherfuckers came out looking a hot, funky mess.
You know what I laugh at? Mariah Carey's career.
Still has more viewers than you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I would hope.
I'm going to go home and kill myself now.
No, you're not. Don't fucking talk like
You're
that.
not going to keep talking about Mariah Carey here.
This has been episode 52 featuring my boy, Devon, The Rock Johnson.
Don't.
You don't like The Rock?
Don't.
You don't like The Rock?
Don't.
You don't like The Rock?
End this shit.
You don't like The Rock? No, you need to answer that question
I don't
before.
like WWE.
Why?
It's fucking fake wrestling.
All right, we need to have a conversation now I'm offended for real. All
I
right.
used to like it. I have this conversation with Polly all the time. I can't watch it.
Why?
It's fucking fake. It's not entertaining to me. Ever since my dad ruined it for me, I just can't. I look at it and I'm like, wow, this is really the corniest shit ever.
Precious is fake. You watch it.
It seems more realistic than wrestling.
It's
It can
about
happen.
the same level.
No. That shit happens.
I mean,
Drive through my neighborhood.
niggas break their bones and shit, and
Who in wrestling really breaks their bones?
mad people over the years.
WWE,
Like literally mad people per year, actually.
oh, my fucking fist flies right by your fucking nose. How it hit you. That shit's so fucking, it's dumb.
All right,
Grow up. You're
I'm stressed out
27
now.
years old, fucking watching fucking
You
people
know,
in
Christmas
tights,
is in a few days. You just
tights and
fucked up
fucking-
my. You
tights
just
and
fucked
rubber
it up.
boots, and you're still fucking watching
All right,
that. You might as well fucking watch fucking crackheads and KP dance around. Grow up.
My name is
Get the fuck out of here.